Morning.
Morning.
Anna's currently having a battle with her hair and the Skyliner.
I'm just holding it so that I don't end up looking like Madonna from the... which video is it?
God knows.
Hung up on you. She goes a bit backwards.
So we keep getting interrupted by the lady on the Skyliner. We're currently on our way to Epcot. That is where we will be pretty much all day today. We will be heading back to the resort a little later just to get changed because we're going to, I think it's called Rosa Mexicano tonight at the Swan Hotel, just as like a little date night type thing, which is not something we usually do, to be fair, but we thought if we're going to a nice hotel we might as well. So yeah, I'm just going to throw a shirt on, so it's not going to be full dress up, is it? Casual dress up.
You haven't got your
suit and
dicky
boot.
bow.
Yeah. But yeah, so we are going to obviously tap in at International Gateway because that's where this is going to take us after we've just gone through about to go through the Skyliner turn station, and we're going to try and hit up Test Track, I think, first thing. We do have a lightning lane for Guardians at 11:10, so it's going to be very much a focused morning on. So we're just going to spend a lot of time around sort of the sort of World Celebration area at the front of the park. I guess this afternoon we'll do World Showcase.
Bit of food and wine.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of food and wine, so there's not going to be a specific like lunchtime today. It's just going to be grabbing a few cheesy snacks and others. I feel like today is also caramel cooch.
Oh, do you have a caramel cooch?
So we'll probably end up going to get the butter bar at caramel cooch at the Germany Pavilion.
We'll see. Other cooches are available.
Yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Sounds like the Muppets version of Nothing Can Stop Us. So here we are in through International Gateway. I mean, early entry has only been open for probably about 20... Actually no, early entry starts at 8:30, doesn't it? So technically early entry doesn't open for another 5 minutes, but they're already allowing everyone to come through. Hello.
Hello there, how you doing?
Good, you?
Good. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Sorry, I got mislaid there. I was going through the early entry bit. As always, even though it's early entry, they do sometimes let guests in sort of starting from between 8 and 8:30, depending on how busy it is. There was no queue, was there? No queue whatsoever.
No queue.
So straight through. It's always funny because we always go left because we know that that's the quickest way through to World Celebration and that area. Obviously, we're going to be walking through Moana today, which is another thing we didn't mention last time about new things. But it's always strange when you go left because obviously the very first thing you come to is the UK Pavilion.
But UK based on the music in Tudor times.
Yeah, by the sound of the music at the moment.
I feel like I should be in a rather in a corset.
I don't know what it is about the UK Pavilion. Like, I like it. It's obviously very homely in a way, but it's not a pavilion we tend to do a lot of things in.
No, we've never been in the Rose and Crown.
No, we look in the shops because obviously we look in the shops for everywhere. But I don't know. I feel like for us we're quite big travellers in a way, and we kind of like going to all the other ones more than probably the UK one. I don't know. who knows if this will even make it into the vlog. Just a little ramble from me about the UK Pavilion. There is a Joffrey's there, and there is not a long queue, and it is awfully tempting.
Awfully.
Awfully tempting to
Isn't
get.
that the what's the crisps? They're terribly tasty.
Tyrells. Tyrells?
Yeah.
Um,
Like that, but
Shall we just get a?
creme brulee cold brew.
Are we gonna start that sweet, or are we just gonna get a normal thing? So we've just picked up our caramel frozen latte to start the day because sugar and caffeine is well needed. Oh damn, that's cold. Oh, that's sweet as well. That's really nice, actually.
Another country we would love to visit. We've talked about moving there, we haven't even visited.
Yeah, Canada's always been a place that's been on our list of places to visit, to go to. We've even spoke about going to it next year, but we're not sure what the plans are at the moment. I'm back in the US in February for San Francisco, which I'll probably end up putting some stuff up on our Instagram. So if you fancy seeing a little bit of behind the scenes of San Francisco and NFL media and how that all works for the Super Bowl, because that's what I'm going out there for, give us a follow. I'll put the handle on the screen now. But yeah, I'll be back in the US in February. But yeah, we're not sure, are we, next year?
No,
Not yet.
Nothing definitive.
So
The Disneylands across the world are never out of the
yeah. What did you say a few years ago? Disney is never
off the table.
Disney is never off the table. So it's like Ross and Rachel.
Oh my God, it's never off the table.
It's never off the table. Refreshment Port is just behind us. We're going to be going there later. I've never had the poutine, and it's on the list. But we can now take a left and head down to World Celebration.
Thank you. Now it's your turn. Hey, no, you can't do that. Hey, thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great day here at Epcot. Enjoy this beautiful weather until tonight. You've been listening to The Chambers. Bye, kids. Bye, guys.
We love that. Love anything with a good beat.
Yeah.
It's a big thing of the music we like, so love everything with a good drum beat.
It's always nice to start off the day as well with some Streetmosphere stuff. Obviously Disney have cut back on that pretty heavily since COVID, and they're slowly bringing little bits back, but yeah, the Jamators are always a great way to start the morning as we try and finish this brain freeze inducing
Brain freeze and blind.
brain freeze inducing coffee, which is very nice, good caramel, it's nice and sweet. And we're just walking towards the test track, so we're going to hopefully get in line for that. I don't know what the wait will be like, but obviously it's early entry, so it shouldn't be too bad still. Our first time riding new version of Test Track. It's weird, I probably would have ridden the first iteration of it when I was younger. I can vaguely remember the queue with the crash test dummies and everything. We've obviously ridden 2.0 quite a few times, which was okay. And then obviously this is now 3.0, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they mix this in with I think it's World of Motion that used to be here beforehand. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Always like Test Track as well, anything with a bit of speed.
Speed? I am speed.
So it looks like Test Track was pretty damn busy. We were queuing out the door, an hour wait, so we decided to maybe skip that. Touring Plans Lines app is pretty good at estimating sort of whether you should ride it now, whether it's going to get any better, and it said to wait to ride, so we took its advice, but it did say that Guardians is probably worth a look at, so we're going to head over there. And let's be honest, is there any better way to start than Guardians?
I can't think of one.
Nope. Will we finally complete the set and get Iran by Flock of Seagulls, or will
No.
we get September or Conga
No,
or all the other ones that we have had
You were at the
previously?
Reading game the other day, and 2 songs came on,
No, you're right.
and I think it's going to be those.
So we're just trying to figure out which way the line starts, because there was someone in the middle of the walkway where the line starts here, but there's no line around them. So we had, I had Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World first, and then second was September. So if we get Everybody Wants to Rule the World on our first go and September on our second go, I think that kind of says everything you need to know. But however, there she is. The Nova Corps ship is there. It says a 35-minute wait, which is obviously a lot better than the hour wait that Test Track was going to be. It is queuing outside, but that's fine. It's air-conned inside.
Welcome, Epcot Terrans. I am Centurion Tal Merrick, and we're just about ready to teleport you up to the ship for the demonstration. As you're about to enter a secure Nova area, I must ask you to put away your Terran communication devices at this time. Recording of any type is strictly prohibited. I am very serious about this. You made it! I mean, of course you did. Nova Prime, they're ready. Our cosmic generator has been stolen. What?
How? Why didn't we think of that? That thing's gotta be worth a fortune.
I am Groot.
Good question.
Yeah, who do you think took it? Perhaps that really big man outside your ship.
Well, that is a big man. I need to alert Nova Prime.
I have been watching Terrans for eons.
That's not crazy at all.
This species has failed.
I got it. I reprogrammed the shuttles to follow them through the jump point.
Wait, what?
Look, they're our only chance of keeping track of that black job until we get the cosmic generator back. Piece of cake.
Wait!
There's King. Where's this King?
The odds are impossible,
Yeah.
but it's our only shot. Good luck.
Are you sure you can control it?
Come on, it's me. I got this.
We're all toast.
First there was King, now there is toast. This plan is making me so hungry.
Okay, you're headed for the jump point. This plan never gonna work. Fuck yeah.
You're likely doomed.
Drax!
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Was useless to follow me. What is that noise?
How are we gonna stop rock and roll from existing?
What have we done?
I think we jumped back.
Nova Team, link your star blasters. We have them contained, but not for long.
Sure is. Stands for every person comes out tired.
I don't get it.
You're all heroes.
You really think they deserve to be called heroes? Do you see how they dress?
We're going to
You're hardly
start.
in it.
We're going to start at this angle because Guardians did something to me, and I'm not quite sure what that is.
I didn't realise
but-
I was married to Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, let's just cover that up with that. So we got September for the umpteenth millionth time.
It was
but
so amazing.
it's such a good ride.
I forgot how I didn't forget how good it was, but until you're back on it again,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, it's just one of the best.
Yeah, obviously we've got a lightning lane for it later as well, so there's a potential
Yeah.
for a second ride, and we'll see what we get there.
Yeah.
And there's a potential for third, fourth, fifth rides.
Absolutely amazing ride though.
We've got a lightning lane for next week as well when we're back here for a half day. So yeah, really looking forward to that. But yeah, so good, so good.
fun fact that you found out before, if you keep an ear out when you come off of the ride, the songs that are playing as you walk through the exit, they're the discounted options for the ride, songs that are playing. So if we came out, we heard Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. There was another one, it was literally as we came out. But yeah, just keep an ear out, because then you're like, oh, this is what we could have had.
Yeah. There we go. So we're going to have a look in the gift shop and then figure out what's next. Have a look at some wait times. So this is the first time we've kind of seen this new area. Everything was behind walls last time we were here. Yeah, we've just spotted as well, just up there, and we're just going to make our way up there, that there is a photo pass person with a spaceship Earth in the background, the Walt statue with Walt sitting down, and there is no one there. So we are going to go over there, and if the pictures are good, we will insert them now. So both Soarin' and Living with the Land have a 5-minute wait, so we've made our way over to the land. It's really nice walking through Epcot with like no construction walls anywhere, because last time we were here it was a little bit insane with the amount that's there. Soarin's one of our favourite rides, as long as we don't get the leaning Eiffel Tower. For those that know, you know. But apparently they've improved that recently. Anna, I'm just going to catch up with you. Didn't you say something about that they've improved the leaning Eiffel Tower? Something about the projection system or something. They've updated it so it doesn't lean quite as much. Or am I talking bullshit?
I vaguely recall maybe hearing that somewhere, but I couldn't place it right now.
You heard it here first.
Don't come at me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, we'll double check it. Yeah, enjoy Soarin'. Right next to Spaceship Earth. Unfortunately, Living with the Land is down at the moment. I don't think it's actually opened this morning. We are going to, for the first time, go into Moana, Journey of Water. Hopefully the camera is okay in here, because water. I'm sure it will be fine. Misters, hey mister. Mister everywhere. You've got to look out for the familiar shapes in the rocks, apparently. Anna's going to go and touch the springs of water. Picasso in the making.
Picasso?
Yeah, the Picasso?
Mozart?
Mozart in the making. God almighty. That's a classic Craig faux pas right there.
Hey, I was
Nosferatu, Nostradamus, so yeah, Picasso, Mozart. There you go. Now you stand and wave. Moana over here. It's beautiful in here, it really is. Just like nice, subtle music, just you know, just greenery everywhere. My legs are getting soaked here. This is the thing, it's probably not used to a tall boy. It does work very well though. It does work very well. And I'm soaked. It's all good. God. I was going to say it probably wasn't used to a tall boy. Test it out. Be brave. Right, we're testing it out with the camera. Oh, the trepidation was real there.
For this, what makes you want to pee? There is emergency toilets.
There's a restroom just in case. Then there's Tafiti up the top there. Lovely waterfall picture with the photograph just sort of shooting through there. Yeah, it's one of the hidden rock formations. Unfortunately not as shining as it is on film. Yeah, we've just come off Soaring, which was good fun as always. There was an elderly couple next to us who decided that they were going to plan their holidays whilst we were looking at all the different things.
If anyone's ever played, a bit of a random reference here, but if anyone's played Broken Sword, the couple in that, I think it was Dwayne and Pearl. Literally, it was them.
It was yeah, it was quite funny. It was
It sounded exactly like
yeah, but Soaring, good as always. We got B3, so dead centre, but at the bottom, which is not always the best view, but it's better than getting the curve that you can get when you're on A or C.
Would you rather curve or dangly feet?
Oh, dangly feet, as long as no one's got their trotters out. And then yeah, we've just obviously walked through Moana, Journey of Water.
Very nice.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I think that it fits in the spirit of what Epcot is in the terms of, you know, talking about the world and the different parts. I think it fits nicely with the seas. It's weird because I don't really think anyone's ever really said where it is, so unless you've seen it on a map, you don't really know. I thought it was kind of more in the centre.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like outside.
But it fits perfectly just outside the seas. I think that's a really good place for it. And yeah, good fun. Got a little bit wet, but yeah, apart from that. So we said we weren't going to go into World Showcase until this afternoon, and we were going to try and hit everything around here, but we're starting to get hungry. And we've just checked our snack list and seen that we have 2 breakfast-esque items. I mean, anything's breakfast if you're brave enough. So 2 breakfast-esque items and a coffee that we want to try over at the Norwegian Pavilion. So we're just going to sort of stroll through up to Norway, and then we will get that. So we're just going into the Kringla Bakery and Cafe here in the Norwegian Pavilion. In you go.
Thank you, good sir.
So we're just going to grab some breakfast in here. The school bread and the apple cake. are the two of the things that we're going to be getting. So number 1 and number 7, if you want to pause the screen for that. And we're also looking at the Viking coffee. So hopefully we'll get that too. So here we go, so we've got our food. So first up we've got the school bread there, sweet roll filled with custard and dipped in coconut. We've had this one before, so it's very good. Next up we've got the epilekek, which is apple cake with caramel drizzle, which is a brand new one for us. And then, despite it being 11:15 in the morning, we've gone for the frozen Viking coffee here, which is Bailey's ice cream liqueur, Komura coffee liqueur with coffee chocolate sauce garnished with coffee chocolate crunch. So yes, a cocktail before 11 a.m. And Anna has delightfully made a little hidden Mickey there for everyone, if she can line it up properly. Right, so just before we start, we have these sort of wild and stone bamboo knives and forks just to try and cut down on plastic waste. I tried the school bread first. I had school bread before. I didn't get any of the custard filling, so now a little bit of that. The bread's spiced. It's got like a spice to it, and then the coconut's really nice, and the cream is horrendously cold, but it's it's custard cream. It's really good. Let me try and cut into this monstrosity. If I pull the paper down this side, you can see it's quite a dense cake. As a Scandinavian or part Scandinavian, it definitely reminds me of that kind of area in the terms of the flavour profile on that. Like a really, really good apple cake that you would get. So yeah, really nice.
So I've just had a bit of the school bread and the apple kaka. Both really good. The school bread was actually nicer than I remember. It reminds me very much of the kind of taste you get from like a hot cross bun, and then the custard on top just makes it really. It's quite refreshing as breakfast. The apple, what I just said, really nice. It's like having a cooler apple strudel. Really,
it's like an apple strudel cake, isn't it?
Apple strudel cake, yeah. That's the best description of it. It's really nice. It is a bit heavier than the school bread. I think if you get it early enough, it's not too heavy on a hot day. But yeah, both good solid thumbs up from me. I'd say a good 8 out of 10 for both of them.
Yeah, so again, this is the frozen Viking coffee. I'm expecting this to be very alcohol heavy and forward early in the morning. It is now 4 minutes to 11, so still before 11, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Holy crap. That is so strong. That is super strong. Really sort of coffee forward. You get the coffee more than I think you get the... I think, no, maybe it's more Bailey's for... I need to try again.
Your coach knows. The all-important second sip.
All-important second sip. Yeah, you get the Baileys. You get a lot of the Baileys. It's like a coffee flavoured Baileys, basically. Now, Anna is, as we've said before, not a massive drinker.
Yeah, it's a good time to go.
It's like a proper boozy tiramisu.
It's really nice, but it's
really nice.
Very alcoholic, like very strong alcohol.
But that's the kind of alcohol that I can deal with, like the Bailey's smoothness. Like, I'm not really a big spirit drinker, but Bailey's I can, because you get the cream first and then the burn afterwards. Yeah, that's good. I'd give that a good 8 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, I think I would give that probably a solid 9 out of 10. That is right up my alley with the flavour profile of that. The skull bread I'd give an 8 out of 10, and the apple cut I'd probably give a 8.5, maybe slightly high. I quite like that.
I know you said we weren't sweet treat people. We'll make exceptions.
Just an update on the frozen coffee debacle that's going on right now. I decided to mix it so all the cookie crunch would go into it as well. I can't taste any alcohol now. I think we were drinking pure Baileys at the bottom, just sitting there. So actually, it now just tastes like a frozen coffee with alcohol in it that you can't taste. So I don't know if that puts it up on the danger scale. It probably keeps it at a 9 for me. It's a really nice coffee drink. But yeah,
I'd go up to a 9 now because I could easily drink a whole one of these
Can
myself.
you taste any alcohol?
I'm gonna go have another sip. No. And I'm very sensitive to alcohol. Like I'll taste it in anything.
So there we go. If you want a danger drink in the morning, then the frozen Viking coffee is the way to go.
Okay, so we are in the brewing lab at the Odyssey. We have a little selection here, some being braver than others. On the left, we've got the Impossible chicken tenders tossed in buffalo sauce. So it's plant-based ranch, plant-based blue cheese crumbles. We have the pickle shake, which is just a pickled milkshake. Bit nervous about trying that one, not gonna lie, but it looked interesting. You got to try it once. Here we have the frozen pomegranate and raspberry tea, which is Twinings pomegranate and raspberry herbal tea with orange ice cream molecules. And then on the right, Craig's got the Korean barbecue wings.
Yeah, with gochujang barbecue sauce and toasted sesame. So we're going to give those a go. Right, so let's do the pickle shake first because I'm scared of it. I'm just going to try the whipped cream, which I think has dill and something on. So yeah, that's an interesting flavour mix. The pickle shake. Why do I not hate that?
Really?
It tastes like pickle. But like,
is it milky? Is it taste?
It doesn't really taste milky. It definitely tastes like a frozen beverage, but it's pickle. Yeah, I can drink all of that.
Wow.
Come on, gotta try it.
Okay, yeah, it's not awful.
It's weird.
It's weird, but it's not like biting into a burger, getting a mouthful of pickle weird. It's yeah, I don't hate it. That's so bizarre.
That is a hot wing.
The pomegranate and raspberry tea.
We might need another chair.
Oh, that's really nice. I like that. Very refreshing.
Yeah, it's probably not my flavour profile, but I can see why you would like it, and also
yeah,
it's
and it's a pretty cute cup.
Give it a spin. It's a nice little memento as well. So
I'm not convinced I've ever had Impossible chicken. A little bit of cheese on there as well.
Yeah, a bit of the blue cheese crumble or whatever.
It's good. Very, very buffalo strong. If you don't like buffalo sauce, don't get it. But
What's the texture like on the Impossible?
The best thing I can think of is like corn fillet steak with a thick bread coating.
As we said before, I've eaten vegetarian stuff. I've eaten corn and everything before, so. That's cool. Very buffalo heavy. The texture on that ain't too bad either. Sometimes fake meat, you can tell it's fake meat just because the texture is really off. The texture is perfectly fine. It did crumble a little bit, but as far as flavour goes, it's really, really nice. Right, let's get into these Korean wings. I'm a big wing person. I tend to go for the Korean wings at Brewdog if I ever go there for Wing Wednesday. These are huge. They are super sticky, like instant stickiness. So if you don't like eating with your fingers, then you're not going to like this. That is not the greatest feel in the world. It's a really nice taste. It's not massively spicy, but it's a slow burner. Like, it is increasing in heat as I talk. The texture of the wings is really crispy on the outside. The chicken itself is really, really nice. If you've had gochujang sauce before, you kind of know what it tastes like, but it's almost like a very super sweet barbecue sauce, maybe. I think it's probably the best way to describe it. Almost like a teriyaki sauce. But yeah, really, really nice. It's very, very messy. I'm sure we'll insert a picture of my face after I finish these, as they will be worn, which I'm sure my moustache will thank. But yeah, we're going to crack on with the rest of this, and we'll catch up with you at the end. So we're out of the Brewing Lab. Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, the vibes in there are amazing. If you love the Muppets, you've got to go in there. You know, Honeydew and Beaker are two of my favourites. They're two of the funniest. And yeah, there's little shorts playing where they're like turning Beaker into vegetables, or
the original character.
Yeah, he's yeah, just so good. That pickle milkshake thing was great. We finished it. I know that in the group chat. Yeah, I know that in the group chat some people are questioning my sanity on trying it, but seriously, it's nice. It is nice. We finished it. We finished the entire thing.
It's just a subtle.
Yes. The wings were great. Really, really nice. Really good. We took the picture of me with it all over my hands, so yeah, you'll see that. Your tenders were good.
They were good. Getting towards the end, it was swimming in the buffalo. It was a bath of buffalo sauce, so it was very, very strong towards the end. It was, you know, might have been a bit overpowering towards the end, but it was fine. It was still tasty. Finished it. Very full now. Still working on the tea, which is really nice. It's very refreshing on a hot day.
So we're now going to.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're just in the Mexico Pavilion. That's why we kind of went from light to dark, but we're going to go on Grand Fiesta.
Welcome, amigos. I am Panchito. I am Jose. And this is Storm. I don't know. We must wait. The concert is ready. Excuse me. This way. as we go. We sing and we samba, we shout. What means I cannot who he is? I don't know.
Right, so that was a nice little trip into Mexico there. Walked in and the mariachi band were playing. You don't really see the mariachi band playing very often in
Not
there.
inside. I've never seen them inside
No.
before. It felt even more like an outside market
Yeah.
with the band playing somehow. It really added to the atmosphere. It was really nice.
Super busy in there though, but we did decide to go on to Grand Fiesta Tour featuring the Three Caballeros. I think it's starting to show its age a little bit, but obviously you can't look over the fact that it's Saludos Amigos, which is like one of the first proper sort of movies that Walt Disney did, or mini movies that Walt Disney did, kind of just after the Steamboat Willie, etc. And it was part of his sort of like cultural expansion that he was trying to do. So obviously there's a lot of Disney history within there. It wouldn't surprise me if it turns into a Coco ride at some point. Thematically it makes sense to be in Mexico. It will be a shame to see that go, but yeah, I do think it's sooner rather than later.
I don't know if it was just the boat we were on, but it felt faster today.
Yeah, I think in a weird way.
We're just missing the screens.
Yeah, in a weird way, I'm going to compare this to Halloween Horror Nights and the scare actors, and like where you can get a bad run, and I do think we got a bad run.
Boat.
Yeah, because a lot of the screens we kind of we missed the action, but
we've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah.
We know what's happening, but it's just if you were on that boat and you didn't, you might have been like, oh, I completely didn't even see Donald there, or
no.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's super hot today, and we're super full after our wings. But what we're going to do now is just kind of have an explore. So you might just see a montage of the different pavilions. Just sitting just past Refreshment Outpost, the little kind of like African huts just before Germany, because there's a little booth here with some of the Food and Wine merch, and one of the things that we have picked up is the gift card. So these are really handy. You just kind of top them up with money that you want to use on Food and Wine. You can use it anywhere really, but we like to use these just because of the fact that one, it's a memento that you can take home with you afterwards to remember your trip, but two, it also gives you the ability to budget. The problem that you have with Food and Wine sometimes is that you will just eat and eat and eat and eat, and then all of a sudden you realise, oh crap, we've spent $100. So we've just loaded ours for 60. Bear in mind, obviously, like I said, anything that's on there after you've done all your Food and Wine booths can still be used as a standard Disney gift card. It doesn't have to be used for Food and Wine. Hell, you could just get one and use it anywhere anyway. But it's just a nice little memento, especially when technically it's free. So we had a look around Japan Pavilion, and then something that happens at Disney happens, where you just kind of feel a bit burnt out, a bit tired. So we went for a sit down, kind of just chilled out in there. I don't really think we filmed a lot of the store in there. Tried to film a little bit, but not a massive amount. What we've decided to do instead is just have a little chill and a drink and a Food and Wine snack. So we've got the Brazilian cheese bread from the Brazil pavilion, which is halfway between Morocco and France, which is behind us at the moment. I also went on a little reverse back to Japan to go to the Japan pavilion to pick up the peachy mango boba for Anna, and while I was there I decided to pick up the beer. It's a Fuji apple IPA from a local brewery called Brewlando, which is a great pun. So yeah, here is the peachy mango boba from Japan. That was $7, and then we've got the Fuji apple IPA, which I got the 12-ounce serving, which was $10. You could get a 6-ounce, I believe, for $6 on that. And then obviously the Brazilian cheese bread, which Anna has already shown you guys a little bit of footage of, which was $5. Obviously all of this was paid for on our little thing. Sorry for the harsh cut there. Anna's now the one who's getting all the compliments on her tattoos. Right, you are trying the
very thirsty.
Mango peachy mango boba.
It smells very peachy. Oh, that's lovely. It's quite sweet, but it's very refreshing. It's just what I needed right now, I think.
Cool. And then I have been just trying. I've just been drinking the Fuji apple IPA. It's quite a nice IPA. I'm not really getting a lot of apple from it, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, when you think of apple, you kind of think of cider. I wasn't really getting a lot of that. It is an IPA, so it's a little bit hop heavy, a little bit on the stronger side as well. Not sure what the IPA was on that actually. It wasn't on the booth that I could see, but I'll go back and I'll look at the footage and I'll pop it in the bottom corner if I figure out what it is. However, try one of these Brazilian cheese breads. These are phenomenal. We've had these before. There's a chance we might have them again at Skipper Canteen. We have a reservation at Skipper Canteen later on in this trip.
I think they're
it's on the
secret
menu,
yeah.
So you have to ask for it, but I mean, that is phenomenal. It's just bread with cheese in it. I mean, you can see it's like super doughy. It's baked in cheese in there. Absolutely phenomenal. Come on, Anna, get involved.
You could smell that right now.
Smell-o-vision needs. It's pretty dense.
It's like a very, very thick crumpet.
Yeah, 3 C's worth of thick, I think. Hello.
Hello.
We've had a good, crazy hour and a half. So while we were in Brazil filming the Brazil.
Excuse you.
When we were outside the Brazil pavilion, having that the cheese bread and the drinks, we decided to go back to Pop Century to get changed. So we got back to the Caribbean Beach Skyliner station, and there was a massive queue for the Pop Century Skyliner line, and it basically turned out that the line hadn't been working for an hour and a half, and it was buses. So we waited in that queue for a bit, realised that we weren't going to get on the next bus, and the next bus had already taken like 10-15 minutes to get there. So, and we don't know how long people were waiting before that, so we decided to just bail, and we were like, screw it, we'll just go in the clothes we're wearing, we won't get dressed up, we'll save that for maybe night one at Universal Studios when we go to the Hard Rock Hotel. So we thought, right, we'll just jump back on the Skyliner and we'll have a chat, and we'll figure out if we're going to go to the Riviera or back to the boardwalk. So we got to the Riviera and said, nah, we'll stick on. And then we spent probably in total 15 minutes stuck just outside the turning station on the way to Epcot, just kind of suspended there, chilling. So it's taken us probably a good hour and a half to get from between the Morocco and France pavilion to outside International Gateway via a very long, very stop-start Skyliner journey. Yeah,
I don't think because we've never really got stopped on the Skyliner before.
Right.
If we've ever been stopped, it's only been like maybe a minute at most.
Yeah.
But where it stopped it was just before you pulled into the turn station, and it really was a bit of a jolty stop, and it bounced like anything.
Yeah, it did.
It proper gave me the stomach sensations that you get on Tower of Terror, and it kind of, because I was looking at my phone at the time, and I was like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. And I think there was a woman on board. I think she was either a cast member or she was on the.
She's on the college program.
College program. She's like, she's been here for like 5 years, and she's like she'd never been stopped for that long.
Yeah.
So it was just the way it goes. They're obviously just having a few. The Skyliner gods weren't shining down at the moment. They're obviously having a few bugs.
Yep.
But you know, these things happen. There's not much you can do. You just sit there and just take in the views, really.
So I think the plan now is we're going to go into the boardwalk. We've never been to the boardwalk before, so it'll be interesting to kind of, you know, unconquered territory for us. We have no idea where the hell we're going, but we're just going to walk around the boardwalk. We're probably just going to shelve there, find a coffee spot, and then go to Rosa Mexicana, which is...
In the Swan or the Dolphin?
It's been one of those days. I'm completely fried. I'm pretty sure I've said Rosa Mexicana or Rosa Mexicano a million times, and I'm not even sure which one it is now. But yeah, we're going to go across there. You might see a little montage of some stuff we find over there, or next time you'll see us will be probably in the coffee shop. We're just strolling up towards the Swan Hotel, which is just over to the right of me there. Just sat down for a bit and literally just taking in the vibes at Boardwalk, had a coffee together, just listening to the sound of the water. Well needed break, I think. Kind of both feeling a little bit more refreshed now. Last thing you want to do is go to a dinner reservation just completely and utterly drained. Like we've said before, we haven't really seen anything on this restaurant other than a very brief article on the DFB website. Not really seen any vlogs of anyone going there. Not really seen any kind of like reviews or anything for it. So this is going to be brand new information for not just you guys but for us. But that's part of what we like doing on our holidays sometimes, is just going somewhere that no one's really talking about. So as you can see, there's the Dolphin there, and on the opposite side over here on our left is the Swan. So we are going to head over there and then figure out where this place is. There it is on the left, Anna. Well, that took no time at all.
Half an hour.
This is a signature restaurant. It's probably not as expensive as some of them that are out there.
Yeah, no.
And this is very much a treat yourself kind of meal. that's why we earmarked it as being date night if we could have done it.
If we could look a little bit
more presentable.
nicer. But I'm sure they're used to riff-raff like us coming in off of the parks and stuff. But.
So we'll obviously film as much as we can. The guacamole that we're getting is tableside made, so we'll obviously record that because I think that's something interesting. Oh, this is us. We've just ordered some drinks. I've gone for an IPA, Anna's gone for a mocktail, which we'll show when we get there. The one I've gone for is just here. It's the Sun Squishy IPA. It's made quite local, and Anna has gone for the Cucumber Mint Refresco there. Seb was really good and recommended a few things. The tacos, he recommended the Birra Costacos, which is braised beef brisket. So I think I might go for that. Always like going for something that's recommended. And we have some chips and some dip. So just quickly give that a go. Looks like a nice, it's a really good homemade salsa. So we've just asked also for the guacamole, the classic one there. So it's fresh made to order in front of us as well. We won't top it off with anything just because a lot of it has meat on it. But yeah, we'll see when that comes out. We're just going to try that beer. That's really nice. That's nice from that Fuji apple one that I had earlier, in my opinion. Not too bitter, but yeah, very good. And there is Anna's refresher. What was it that you had, Anna?
Cucumber mint refresco, which is fresh cucumber juice, fresh mint, lemon, and sparkling water. I really like cucumber. I like cucumber water. I'm probably going to like a cucumber cocktail.
Just to make it clear there, Anna is drinking through a straw and not that massive piece of cucumber because we can't see the straw through the back of it. There it is. It's not a straw made out of cucumber, which would have been incredible.
The service said they make all the cucumber juice on site, so it's literally as fresh as you can get. It was very nice. Let's have another one. The mint is very strong. It's kind of like I had a cucumber. There was a cucumber mint something once. I can't remember what it is now.
But it's nice.
It's very nice.
Good. That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
You guys please enjoy, alright?
Will do, thank you very much. So that was fresh guac made right in front of us, and that looks incredible. Yeah, let's dig in. We'll try a bit first.
Go straight in, or
go straight? Yeah, no, go straight in. So just for a bit of context, Anna is relatively new to the avocado game, relatively new to the guacamole game, so this will be interesting.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
That's hands down the nicest guacamole I think I've ever had. I mean, admittedly I haven't had a lot, but freshly made you can't get much better. You can't get much better than that. Literally made in front of you.
Yeah, and the guy who was doing it was really nice. I'm going to try some behind the camera. Flavour profile of everything shines through. Like the onion really shines through. Obviously, it's very avocado heavy because it's guac, which makes perfect sense. It's quite chunky as well, which is a little different than what you tend to get at home a lot of times.
Yeah, it's just smooth and
there's not a lot to it. He did ask us. I don't know how much of the audio we'll be able to use, or you'll be able to hear. Obviously, we were just shooting the breeze with him as well, so don't know how much of that we're going to keep in, but and literally as I wait, every little flavour's coming through, and you can see here, like you can see the onion, you can see the cilantro on there, or the coriander. Coriander?
Yeah.
Coriander, as it's known at home. The tomato with big chunks of avocado on there. It's just really nice. I think I'd agree with that. It's hands down the best guacamole I've ever had. Right, so the food has arrived, as you can see. We're going to go through what we've got. So Anna over here has the crispy cauliflower tempura tacos with green mango sloe, chile de arbol hot sauce and flour tortillas. We've also got some Mexican rice over here, some black beans. I have gone for, on the recommendation of the server, for the Birria Quesetos tacos, braised beef brisket, queso oaxaca, cilantro, onions, a consomme dip, and in corn tortillas, which are apparently soaked in this dip as well, which is, I'm not even going to lie to you, the smell coming off of this is just something ridiculous. And then we have the sweet corn esquites, which is queso fresco, epazote, mayonnaise and chile de arbol. So we will give that a go. We're not going to eat it on camera just because of the fact that this is quite a nice restaurant and we don't want to be distracting anyone. But yeah, we will continue from there. Whew, wow. I am stuffed. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I need a wheelbarrow. I got the stretchy shorts on tonight.
Yeah, so that was Rosa Mexicano at the
Dolphin.
At the Dolphin. Just had to make sure. Yeah, do that.
If you like Mexican food,
yeah,
go there.
I'll tell you what, before we even talk about the food, I'm just going to say this. So last night at Roundup, a rodeo barbecue, that came to, before tip, $104, and the food was okay. There was way too much of it, and that's the thing, it's a family style thing. The food tonight, before tip, was $75. Hi guys, a bit of a freeze frame here, but Future Craig here. So when we looked at the receipt when we got home and we were budgeting, we realised that they hadn't actually charged us for the guacamole. Obviously we're home now, so there's nothing we can do to rectify it, but we just want to be clear that we would have happily paid for it, and we still think that under $100 or around the $100 mark after tax would still make this better than Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. But yeah, just for clarity, wanted to just clear that up now. There was still too much of it and we didn't eat it all. We had the table guacamole, which was $20 by itself.
Hands down.
And hands down, just absolutely annihilated it. Those beef tacos were incredible. The jus was just so, almost like a gravy, but obviously very, very light gravy. It was spiced so well. It was seasoned beautifully. The beef inside the tacos just fell apart. It was cilantro or coriander heavy, so if you're averse to that, then obviously maybe not the thing for you. The street corn was amazing. Cheesy.
I love street corn.
Just cheesy, again, just peppery, oniony, and then the corn itself was super buttery.
Yeah.
Just everything about that was amazing.
Huge bowl. We had I had like 5 spoonfuls full, and it was you had loads, and there was still
half a bowl.
Yeah,
still half a bowl.
Huge portion.
The rice. See, that's the thing, easy. Mexican rice should be really simple, but obviously can be bland sometimes. This wasn't. Pieces of red onion in there, so good. Your cauliflower tacos?
Yeah, really good. I think in most of it, there was 3 like big bits of cauliflower in each taco. The spice, it did have a kick, like the server said it would. It was only on, like, it was sort of dropped onto it, so it wasn't like the whole thing was blow your mouth off hot. Yeah. It was just a nice kick, because sometimes with tempura it can get a little bit, because it's batter, if you don't have something to take, to give it that extra flavour, it can sometimes be a bit bland. So having that spice kick every, few bites was really nice.
But I actually think that the tempura on that was some of the nicest I've had.
Oh yeah, definitely, hands down, best tempura I've ever had. I did, just because I like to mix things up, I did throw a little bit of the corn, a little bit of the rice just on there as well, even though it was already pretty stuffed with the extra veg. But I just like to have all the flavours together. But it was, they were great.
The black bean was okay. I didn't really have a lot of that. I don't even know if you had any
I
of
didn't
that.
actually have any. I'm not a huge refried black bean girl.
Yeah.
So I tend to steer clear of that. But it looked great in sort of presentation wise.
Yeah. And then the guac was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like so well spiced. Actually had a bit of a kick to it. So he had asked, we didn't say this earlier, but he had asked us if we wanted it mild or medium, and we went for medium on that. And it definitely did have a kick. It was just such a good meal. Our server was amazing.
Yeah.
And actually,
we had
three different people.
Brandon, who made the actual guac, we thought that was his job done. He made the guac, but he came back multiple times to the table, see if everything was all right. There was a really nice guy who kept on giving us, topping us up with water. Just all the wait staff were hugely attentive and hands down, but all very friendly. Yeah, it was just really, really good restaurant.
So if you like Mexican food and you don't mind walking a little bit from Epcot through the boardwalk and up to the Swan and Dolphin, honestly check out Rosa Mexicano. Like it's definitely up there. I am toying between that and City Walk for best meal of the holiday so far.
Yeah, definitely.
But now we're going to try and head back to Epcot to try and catch Luminous.
Is there like a ramp that we can roll down? Or, I mean, there is the boat, but I think we need to walk it off.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be watching Luminous. If the crowds are too much and it's hard to get a space, we might just pivot and try and smash out a couple of rides while everyone else is doing that. But what you'll see next will either be fireworks or a ride. So we're back in the room. We ended up going to Epcot to watch a bit of Luminous, and then sort of towards the end, I think tiredness and fullness caught up with us, and we decided to head back. Another eventful trip on the Skyliner, stopping way up on the tallest point of Caribbean Beach for just
not as long.
No, under 5 minutes. But it was at that point where it's pretty high up, and then the family in there were not having a good time with the fact that we were stuck there, and decided that the best form of conversation to have then
was how we'd be evacuated. Like what?
what kind of vehicle might have to be used.
Because it's in the middle of the water, and you know, they were just getting themselves in a situation.
But we're back.
Very brave, you did.
I was a very brave boy. We are back. From what we watched of Luminous, it was good. Not ashamed to say that a tear was shed. There's a specific song from Tarzan that gets played at a lot of the fireworks shows here. That has a very personal meaning to me, and sets me off. I fought it as much as possible, but there was a little part of it. Not a bad little fireworks show.
Yeah, it was. We hadn't seen it before. We hadn't seen a Epcot show since. Was it Illuminations?
Illuminations.
Yeah. And
I always want to do that in the Minion
Illuminations!
voice, but it's wrong franchise.
Yeah. I don't think for me personally, it beats Illuminations, like that one, because it was around like for our first trip. I think it has more, nostalgia and for us.
Yeah.
But I liked the songs. Some of them I didn't recognise.
There are original songs in it as well.
Okay.
I did like the hybrid that they did on some of the songs, obviously using the different language from the different countries that are there.
Yeah, that was good to hear.
And I've obviously got my Magic Band Plus, which, the way that lights up and vibrates with the colours of the fireworks and everything, I just think is really impressive. It's probably still a little gimmicky, yes, but I could see how some people would like that and would enjoy it. We'd have got a split day tomorrow, our last full day in the Disney bubble before we move on to Universal. So we've got a split day, Animal Kingdom in the morning, Hollywood Studios tomorrow evening. I don't think we've got any lightning lanes for tomorrow, so it might just be like knocking out a few things we haven't done yet.
Couple of repeats of the favourites, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. But other than that, what was your favourite part of the day?
Favourite part of the day? I think getting back on Guardians.
We got Conga on the second one.
Yeah, we did. I don't think we mentioned that. Just riding that, I think was highlighted. We got the the ninth row, so that you at the front, so that you have no obscured vision.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that, like being able to see the track and everything. The geek in me enjoyed that more than probably the rider in me, because obviously when you can see the track, you see what's coming.
I just like the feeling, because it's relatively dark. I like just not being able to see what's really ahead. You have a full field of vision of what they want you to see. I quite like that. I think I find it quite immersive, and that's why we wanted to ride the front of Tron when we did it the first day as well, so you don't have any obstructions to.
I don't know what my highlight probably was Guardians as well. I mean, we didn't actually end up doing an awful lot of rides today, just because
we wanted energy lull.
Yeah, we had the energy lull, and then obviously the break in the park ended up not being a break because of the Skyliner issues. So I think that will probably come next week, my highlight, when we did Test Track. I don't think did we give a score earlier for the food?
I don't think so, no.
I'm going to give it a 9 overall.
Oh, do you mean for dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant for food and wine food. Yeah, I'd give it a 9 as well.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. So yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram at the Inked Explorers.
Thank you for making it this far with us.
Yeah, I can't even remember what vlog number this would be, but if you have continued to watch the series, we really do appreciate it, and let us know what you think in the comments. But we will see you next week.